Welcome back to another story time. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most powerful inventions in human history, the internet. It is invisible. You cannot hold it in your hands. You cannot see it in the sky, but every day it connects billions of people around the world. It helps us talk. It helps us learn. It helps us work, create, and share our lives. But the internet was not always this big. It started small, very small, and slowly. It changed the world forever. This is the story of how the internet changed humanity. Now imagine waking up in a world with no internet. No Google. No YouTube. No Instagram. No TikTok. No online games. No instant messages. Your phone is not a smartphone. It is just a phone. You cannot search anything. You cannot watch any video. You cannot send a quick message. If you want to talk to someone far away, you have to write a letter. You take a piece of paper. You write your message by hand. You put it inside an envelope. Then you send it by mail. And then you wait. You wait for days. Sometimes you wait for weeks. And if the letter gets lost, you may never know. There are no blue ticks. There is no message delivered. There is no message seen. You just hope it arrives. Now imagine you want to meet your friend. You cannot text them. You cannot share your location. You cannot say, "I am almost there." You must plan everything before, the exact time, the exact place, the exact address. And once you leave your house, the plan cannot easily change. If your friend is late, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 1 hour. You do not know what happened. Maybe they missed the bus. Maybe they got lost. Maybe they forgot. But you cannot check. You can only wait. Now, imagine traveling to a new city. There is no GPS. There is no online map. There is no voice saying, "Turn right." You have a paper map. You open it with both hands. You try to understand the streets. You look for signs. You ask people for directions. You hope you are going the right way. Traveling felt slower back then, and the world felt much bigger. A city could feel confusing. Another country could feel very far away. Now, imagine you have a question. Maybe you want to know about space. Maybe you want to learn history. Maybe you want to understand science. Today, you search in seconds. But before the internet, you had to work harder. You went to a library. You searched for the right book. You opened the pages. You read slowly. Sometimes you found the answer. Sometimes you did not. Sometimes finding one simple answer could take hours. And news was different too. People waited for newspapers. They watched the evening news. They listened to the radio. The world was moving, but people heard about it later. Information did not travel like lightning. It moved slowly. Before the internet, life was not empty. People still talked. People still learned. People still created. But everything took more time. Communication was slower, learning was slower, finding places was harder, sharing ideas was harder. The world had many voices, but most voices stayed local. A small artist could not easily reach millions. A student could not easily learn from global teachers. A normal person could not easily speak to the world. Then, something began to change. It was not loud at first. It was not famous at first. It was quiet. It was technical. It was hidden inside computers. But this small beginning would become one of the biggest changes in human history. Something invisible was coming, and it would connect the world forever. The internet did not arrive all at once. It did not begin with social media. It did not begin with online shopping. It did not begin with funny videos. It began with a simple idea. What if computers could talk to each other? Today, that idea sounds normal. But years ago, it was amazing. Computers were not small like laptops. They were huge machines. They were expensive. They were difficult to use. They were mostly inside universities and research centers. Most families did not have a computer at home. Most people had never touched one. Back then, one computer was like one lonely island. It could hold information. It could solve problems. But it was alone. Another computer was another island. It had its own information. It had its own work. But the islands were separated. Then scientists and engineers asked a powerful question. What if we could build a bridge? What if one computer could send data to another? What if information could travel across distance? This was the beginning of a new dream. Dream of connected machines, and later, connected people. The first messages were very simple. There were no photos, no videos, no emojis, no voice notes. There were only letters, numbers, and data. But even that was powerful, because for the first time, a computer in one place could send information to a computer somewhere else. It was a small message, but it meant something huge. It meant distance could be defeated. It meant information could move faster. It meant communication could become digital. A8 first, only a few computers were connected. The network was small. The number of users was small. The idea was still new. But every connection made it stronger. One computer became two. Two became four. Four became many. Slowly, the network began to grow. More universities joined. More researchers joined. More ideas joined. People started to understand something. This was not just about computers. This was about sharing knowledge. A scientist in one place could send information to another scientist far away. A researcher could share results faster. A university could connect with another university. The world of knowledge started to move differently. Not by paper, not by mail, not by waiting, but by signals, by networks, by invisible paths. This was the early internet. It was not beautiful. It was not simple. It was not for everyone yet. But it was alive. And like many big changes, it started quietly. No one could fully see the future. No one knew how big it would become. But the first connection had already happened. And once the world learned how to connect, there was no going back. After the first connections, the network continued to grow, slowly at first, then faster again. More computers joined, more places joined, more people began to notice. AAT, the beginning, the internet was not simple. You needed knowledge, you needed special tools, you needed to understand computers. It was not made for everyone yet. But people kept building, they kept improving, they kept asking new questions. How can we make it easier? How can we organize information? How can normal people use it? Then websites appeared, and websites changed everything. A website was like a page, but not a paper page. It was a digital page, a page that could live online. Someone could write information. Someone else could open it from far away. Another person could read it in another country. This was a new kind of place. Not a city, not a building, not a library. A digital place. A place made of information. A place made of links. The internet started to feel like a world. People could visit websites. They could click links. They could move from one page to another. It was like walking through doors, but the doors were invisible. Then search engines became important. Because the internet was growing fast, and people needed a way to find things. Without search engines, the internet was like a giant room, a room full of books, but with no clear order. Search engines helped people ask questions. They helped people find pages. They helped people discover information. This changed learning forever. A student could search for history. A teacher could find resources. A traveler could learn about another country. A person with curiosity could explore the world from home. And then email became popular. Email was faster than letters. It was cheaper. It was easier to send. People could send messages across the world without waiting weeks. Businesses noticed this quickly. Schools noticed it. Governments noticed it. Families noticed it. The internet was no longer only for experts. It was becoming part of normal life. Then online communities appeared. People with the same interests could meet. They could talk about games. They could talk about music. They could talk about science. For the first time, many people found communities outside their local area. You did not have to live near someone to share the same passion. This was powerful because humans need connection, and the internet gave connection a new shape. Then businesses started to move online. Stores created websites. Companies shared information. People began to buy things online. At first, many people were unsure. Buying something from a website felt strange. Trusting a screen felt strange. But slowly, online shopping became normal. And then it became huge. The internet was changing communication. It was changing business. It was changing education. It was changing entertainment. And it was still only the beginning. The small network had become a global revolution. Then the internet entered homes. And when it entered homes, life changed faster than ever. Before, people used the internet in special places: schools, offices, universities, research centers. But now, families could use it at home. A computer in the living room became a window to the world. People could read the news. They could send emails. They could search for answers. They could talk to people far away. This changed daily life. Communication changed first. A message that once took weeks could now arrive in seconds. Think about that. Weeks became seconds. Distance became smaller. Waiting became shorter. Families separated by countries could talk more easily. Friends could stay connected. Workers could send information quickly. Then learning changed. Before the internet, learning was limited by access. You needed the right books. You needed the right school. You needed the right teacher. But online, knowledge became easier to reach. A person could learn English. A person could learn math. A person could learn music. A person could learn coding. A person could learn almost anything. This was not perfect. Not all information was true. Not all sources were good. But the door to knowledge became much wider. And millions of people walked through it. Then work changed. People could send documents online. They could talk with teams in other cities. They could work with people in other countries. A business no longer needed to stay local. A small company could reach global customers. A creator could sell digital products. A teacher could teach online. The internet gave new chances to many people. Not everyone had the same chance, but the possibilities became bigger. Then entertainment changed. Music moved online. Movies moved online. Games moved online. Videos moved online. People stopped waiting for only television. They started choosing what to watch. They started choosing when to watch. They started choosing who to follow. This gave power to viewers. But it also gave power to creators. Before, it was hard to become known. You needed a TV channel. You needed a newspaper. You needed a big company. But online, one person could upload a video. One person could write a blog. One person could share music. One person could build an audience. Then social media changed everything again. Social media made the internet personal. People did not only read information, they became the information. They posted photos. They shared opinions. They told stories. They followed others. The internet became more human. But it also became more complicated. Because when everyone can speak, the world becomes louder. There was more creativity, but also more confusion. There was more connection, but also more distraction. There was more information, but also more fake information. The internet was powerful. But power always has a cost. It helped people learn, but it also made people scroll for hours. It helped people connect, but it also made privacy more difficult. It helped people find truth, but it also helped lies spread quickly. This is why the internet changed the world in two ways. It gave humanity amazing tools, but it also gave humanity new problems. And now, people had to learn something new. How to use the internet wisely. How to protect their information. How to check what is true. How to balance online life and real life. The internet was not just technology anymore. It had become part of human behavior, part of culture, part of everyday life. And the world would never be the same again. Today, the internet is everywhere. It is in our phones. It is in our homes. It is in schools. It is in hospitals. It is in cars. It is in watches. It is in cameras. It is in small, everyday objects. We use it so much that sometimes we forget how incredible it is. You wake up in the morning. You check the weather. You read messages. You watch a short video. You can order food. You can buy clothes. You can study a lesson. You can listen to music. All from one small screen. In the past, this would sound impossible. A small screen that connects you to the world. A small screen that holds maps, books, music, and messages. But today, it feels normal. That is how powerful the internet became. It became so important that it almost disappeared into daily life. We do not always think about it, we just use it. But behind every message, there is a giant network. Behind every video, there are servers, signals, and cables. Behind every search, there is a system moving information at high speed. It feels simple, but it is not simple. It is one of the most complex systems humans ever built, and it connects billions of people. The internet connects families. A parent can talk to a child in another country. A friend can send a message from another city. A student can join an online class from home. Behind every search, there is a system moving information at high speed. It feels simple, but it is not simple. It is one of the most complex systems humans ever built, and it connects billions of people. The internet connects families. A parent can talk to a child in another country. A friend can send a message from another city. A student can join an online class from home. The internet connects ideas too. In Sciency, can share a discovery. A doctor can read new research. A teacher can reach students far away. An artist can show their work. A musician can share a song. A filmmaker can upload a story. And sometimes, one small post can travel around the world. This changed culture. Trends now move faster. Music spreads faster. News spreads faster. Ideas spread faster. A person in one country can influence people in many countries. A local story can become a global story. The internet also changed education. A student can watch lessons online. They can practice languages. They can learn from teachers they never met. This created new opportunities. But it also created new responsibilities. Because online learning needs focus. Online information needs checking. Online life needs balance. The internet gives tools, but humans must choose how to use them. The internet also changed business. A person can open an online store. A creator can build a brand. A small team can work from different countries. Before, many dreams needed a physical place. A shop, an office, a studio. Now, some dreams can begin with a laptop, a phone, a camera, a simple idea. This does not mean success is easy, but it means the door is open to more people. And that is one of the internet's biggest changes. It gave ordinary people a platform. Before, only big media could reach millions. Television had the audience. Newspapers had the audience. Radio had the audience. But now, a normal person can speak to the world. One video can reach millions. One idea can inspire a movement. One voice can create change. That is powerful. And like all powerful things, it must be used carefully. Because the internet can connect people, but it can also divide people. It can teach people, but it can also confuse people. It can save time, but it can also steal time. That is why the internet is not just a tool. It is a mirror. It shows human creativity. It shows human curiosity. It shows human kindness. But it also shows human mistakes. The internet made the world smaller, but it made our choices bigger. We can learn. We can create. We can connect. We can share. And every day, billions of people do exactly that. The world is now connected by invisible lines. And those lines changed humanity forever. The internet started with simple connections. One computer, another computer, one small message. AT-AT first. It seemed technical. It seemed quiet. It seemed small. But hidden inside that small idea was the future. Because the internet did not only change computers, it changed people. It changed habits. It changed culture. It changed the meaning of distance. Before the internet, distance was powerful. A faraway person felt far away. A faraway place felt unknown. A faraway idea could stay hidden. But after the internet, distance became weaker. A message could cross the world. A video could reach millions. An idea could travel faster than ever. The internet changed how we communicate. It changed how we say hello. It changed how we share news. It changed how we stay close. The internet changed how we learn. A question became a search. A lesson became a video. A classroom became a screen. The internet changed how we work. An office could be online. A meeting could happen from different countries. A business could begin from a small room. The internet changed how we create. A song could be shared instantly. A story could find readers. A video could find an audience. The internet changed how we dream. Because suddenly, the world felt more reachable. But the story is not only about speed. It is not only about technology. It is not only about screens. The real story is about connection. Humans have always wanted to connect. We told stories around fires. We wrote, we printed books. We built telephones. And then we built the internet. A global web of information. A place for voices. A place for ideas. A place for learning, creating, and sharing. But this story is still not finished. The internet continues to change. New technology appears. New platforms rise. New ways of learning and creating begin. And the future is still being written. Maybe the next big idea will come from a scientist. Maybe it will come from a creator. Maybe it will come from a student. Maybe it will come from someone watching this right now. Because big changes often begin small. A small question. A small experiment. A small message. A small connection. That is how the internet began. And that is how the future begins too. So the next time you send a message, remember what is really happening. Your words are traveling through an invisible world. The next time you search for an answer, remember how different life once was. People once waited days for information. Now we find it in seconds. That next time you watch a video, remember the power behind it. A story can move from one person to the entire planet. The internet is not something we can hold. We cannot touch it like a book. We cannot see it like a road. But we can feel its impact everywhere. In our homes, in our schools, in our friendships, in our dreams. The internet made the world faster. It made the world closer. It made the world more connected. And in many ways, it made humanity more powerful. But power needs wisdom. So the future depends on us. How we use it, how we share, how we learn, how we create. The internet changed the world forever. But now, we decide what the next chapter will be. This was the story of how the internet changed humanity. And the next chapter has only just begun.